God says, a stranger will change your life because of this. The world has a way of keeping you in patterns, of making you believe that the journey is solely yours to navigate, but even in the quietest moments, I am working behind the scenes. You may not know it yet, but your life is on the cusp of a revelation. A stranger, someone whose face you have never seen, whose name may seem insignificant in the moment, carries a message that your soul has long been waiting for. Their presence will disrupt the ordinary, will challenge the complacency that has quietly settled into your heart. You may initially resist, wondering why a person so unfamiliar would hold significance in your story, but my wisdom surpasses understanding. This encounter is not by chance, it is divinely orchestrated. The stranger's words, actions, or even their silence will plant seeds of change in you. You will recognize, in ways you cannot yet articulate, that they have been sent to awaken something within you that has long been dormant. Perhaps you have carried burdens silently, believing no one could comprehend the weight you bear, yet this stranger will reflect a part of you back that has been hidden. Their perspective will mirror truths you have been avoiding, gently nudging you to confront, to forgive, to release. In their presence, doors will open to opportunities that have been concealed behind fear, doubt, and hesitation. Do not dismiss the encounter lightly, for even a fleeting conversation can redirect the currents of your destiny. Every word they speak, every gesture, even every look, is designed to activate a shift within your heart. It is in these subtle movements that the divine whispers, reminding you that transformation often comes from unexpected sources. You may wonder why it must be a stranger. Why not a familiar face, a friend, someone you have trusted for years? God says, the unfamiliar breaks patterns, the unknown shakes the comfort zones where growth is stagnant. Strangers do not carry the weight of your expectations, judgments, or preconceptions. They approach you with a perspective untainted by the history you have with others. In their presence, you are free to see yourself with fresh eyes, to rediscover parts of your spirit that you thought were lost. The stranger may arrive in the form of a passerby, a mentor, a friend, or even an adversary, yet their purpose is singular: to ignite a spark within you. The spark that will grow into clarity, courage, and the awakening of the path you have been destined to walk. You may not immediately understand their impact. Change often begins in whispers, in moments that seem trivial or coincidental, but the seed sown by this stranger will flourish in time. Patience will be required, faith will be tested, and your heart will be called to open wider than it ever has. There is a lesson in surrender, in allowing the flow of life to carry you, even when the destination is unknown. You will find that the stranger becomes a mirror, a guide, or a catalyst for the life that has been waiting for you to claim. God says, be ready, for when you least expect it, the meeting will occur. The timing will be perfect, though it may feel uncertain. The encounter will awaken dormant gifts, unlock hidden potential, and stir your spirit to pursue the life you were created to embrace. Do not dismiss intuition or the nudges you feel in your heart. Sometimes the divine uses subtle signs to lead you toward what is meant to be. You may feel drawn to a place you do not recognize, compelled to speak to someone you have never met, or moved by circumstances that seem coincidental. These are not accidents. They are divine invitations to step into a higher level of understanding. The stranger will act as a key, unlocking doors to wisdom, healing, and revelation that you cannot reach on your own. Their presence will illuminate paths that have been hidden, showing you that the boundaries you believed existed were only illusions of limitation. God says, look beyond appearances, beyond first impressions, beyond fear. The stranger may appear ordinary, yet within them lies extraordinary insight meant to reshape your destiny. They may challenge your beliefs, confront your doubts, and disturb the comfort of the familiar, yet every disruption carries a message of growth. Even conflict can be a messenger of transformation when it compels you to confront truths you have avoided. The stranger will teach you that every interaction carries meaning, and that life's most profound lessons often come unannounced. In the days ahead, watch for signs. Pay attention to encounters that feel significant. Listen to conversations that resonate with your spirit. Remain open, even when skepticism arises. God says, your life is about to be touched by grace in ways that exceed your expectations. The stranger is a vessel of that grace, a living testament that divine intervention often comes wrapped in ordinary forms. The lessons you learn from this encounter will ripple through your life, influencing your relationships, your purpose, and the path of your journey in ways that will leave you awestruck. God says, you may not understand why this stranger has appeared at this precise moment, but every moment of your life has been carefully woven with intention. Nothing is random. Nothing happens without purpose. The stranger may seem like a fleeting presence, a brief intersection on the road of your life, yet their impact will be enduring. Even the smallest interaction, a single word of encouragement, a brief exchange of eyes, a gesture of kindness, can plant seeds that blossom into profound transformation. Life often teaches through subtlety, and the divine uses people in ways that are quiet but deeply powerful. Do not underestimate the power of connection. Sometimes, the simplest relationships carry the weight of eternity. The stranger may challenge you, pushing you to see beyond the limitations you have placed upon yourself. They may provoke questions that you have avoided, stir emotions that have lain dormant, or awaken dreams that you thought were long lost. God says, this encounter is not merely chance, it is destiny in motion. It is a doorway into a version of yourself you have yet to fully meet. Open your heart to what is possible. Release doubt. Release hesitation. Step fully into the awareness that change is approaching, and it is good. The stranger may arrive at a time when you are weary, when hope feels distant, when you question the path ahead. They may appear when your faith has been tested or when the weight of circumstances feels overwhelming. God says, in these moments, the stranger becomes a living reminder that you are not alone. Divine guidance often comes in human form, teaching you that miracles are not always thunderous or grandiose, they are sometimes gentle, intimate, and profoundly personal. The stranger will show you that support, wisdom, and inspiration can arrive in forms you least expect, yet exactly when you need them most. Look closely at the interactions that stir your soul. Notice the lessons that resonate long after the moment has passed. God says, every smile, every conversation, every shared silence carries a message meant specifically for you. You may not grasp the full meaning immediately, and that is part of the process. Growth does not demand instant understanding. It asks for openness, attentiveness, and willingness to engage with life as it unfolds. The stranger may hold mirrors to your life, reflecting truths that are uncomfortable yet necessary. Allow the reflection to guide you without judgment, for judgment often clouds the clarity that leads to transformation. In their presence, you may feel emotions you cannot easily define. Joy and fear, hope and uncertainty, excitement and hesitation may all mingle in your heart. God says, these emotions are signposts, markers of the work being done within your spirit. Do not shrink from them, embrace them. Allow the stranger to help you navigate the inner landscapes that you have long avoided. Their influence will challenge you to step into a larger version of yourself, to live with courage, integrity, and compassion. The stranger will reveal that life is not a series of random events, but a tapestry of purpose, intricately designed to guide you toward fulfillment. Expect that the stranger's presence will bring clarity where confusion has lingered. They may offer insight that opens your mind to new perspectives, or act as a catalyst for healing that you did not realize you needed. God says, healing often comes disguised as challenge, and wisdom often arrives wrapped in mystery. The stranger is a vessel of both. They will help you confront past wounds, see old patterns, and embrace possibilities that previously seemed unattainable. This process may be gradual, unfolding in layers that reveal themselves over time. Trust in the unfolding. Trust in the guidance that is being offered. Do not resist the stranger out of fear or pride. Sometimes, we are tempted to dismiss the unfamiliar, to cling to what is comfortable, to avoid disruption. God says, resistance slows the awakening of your spirit. Openness accelerates it. The stranger is a messenger of growth, a bearer of insight, and an agent of transformation. Through their presence, you will learn that every person you meet carries the potential to teach, guide, or illuminate a part of your soul. Even those who challenge you, who provoke discomfort or disagreement, serve a divine purpose. They push you toward self-awareness, resilience, and alignment with the life you were meant to live. God says, prepare your heart for the unexpected. Prepare your mind to receive lessons in subtle ways. Prepare your spirit to recognize the sacred in ordinary encounters. The stranger may be your teacher, your guide, your ally, or even your mirror. Their arrival will mark a turning point, a moment when the path before you shifts and new possibilities unfold. You may not know it at first, but you will recognize their impact in the transformation of your thoughts, emotions, relationships, and decisions. The stranger's influence will ripple outward, touching aspects of your life you never imagined, opening doors you thought were permanently closed. God says, this is a season of awakening. This is a time of preparation. The stranger is your invitation to embrace the fullness of what is possible. Trust the process, even when it feels uncertain. Believe in the timing, even when it defies your expectations. Allow the encounter to expand your understanding of love, faith, and divine orchestration. You will discover that the stranger's presence is not just a fleeting moment, but a turning point that alters the trajectory of your life forever. God says, the stranger will teach you patience in ways you have never experienced before. Their arrival may not bring immediate answers, and their influence may not manifest in ways that are obvious at first. God's ways are subtle, precise, and perfectly timed. Often, the most profound lessons come slowly, unfolding like petals in the warmth of sunlight. The stranger will help you to recognize the rhythm of life, the ebb and flow, the rise and fall, the seasons of waiting and the moments of sudden clarity. They will reveal that the journey itself is sacred, that every encounter, every challenge, every seeming coincidence is part of a larger tapestry designed specifically for you. You may feel unease, even resistance, as this stranger steps into your life. God says, this is natural, for transformation often begins at the edge of comfort. The unfamiliar awakens the dormant parts of your spirit, the parts that have grown stagnant in routine or habit. You may question their purpose, doubt the significance of their presence, or struggle to trust the guidance that is unfolding. Yet even in doubt, the divine is at work. The stranger is a living conduit of that work, a messenger of possibilities, a reminder that change is not to be feared but embraced. Through this encounter, you will learn humility. God says, there is wisdom in recognizing that no one journey is walked alone. The stranger's presence will remind you that life is a series of shared experiences, that each person you meet holds a fragment of truth, insight, or healing for your soul. You will discover that by opening yourself fully to the unknown, by listening without judgment, by receiving without expectation, you are participating in the sacred flow of divine purpose. This awakening will teach you that love, kindness, and understanding are not simply acts, they are gateways to transformation, pathways to the fulfillment of your highest calling. Expect the stranger to reflect aspects of yourself that you have ignored or forgotten. God says, reflection is one of the most powerful tools of growth. The stranger may reveal strengths you did not recognize, dreams you have abandoned, fears that have subtly directed your choices. In seeing yourself through their presence, you will gain clarity about what you need to release, what you must embrace, and how you are meant to move forward. Their impact may be subtle at first, perhaps in a single word, a gesture, or a glance that lingers in your memory, but over time, these moments will accumulate into a transformation so profound that you will recognize it as divine intervention. God says, allow yourself to be guided by intuition. Often, the signs of this encounter are not obvious, they are whispered in the quiet moments, felt as nudges in the heart, glimpsed in subtle coincidences. The stranger may not offer advice directly, their purpose may be revealed in how they challenge you, how they provoke thought, or how they illuminate paths you had not considered. Be attentive. Be receptive. Let your heart discern the sacredness of the exchange, for in the recognition lies your awakening. You will learn that change is a process, not an event. God says, transformation unfolds in layers. Each interaction with the stranger is a brushstroke, painting a larger picture that you may not fully perceive until the fullness of time. Patience is required, yet patience is itself a form of faith, a trust in the divine orchestration of your life. You will discover that the stranger's presence is not just an interruption of routine, but a catalyst for growth, healing, and awakening. Through this encounter, you will step into a deeper understanding of your purpose and your capacity to embrace life with courage and grace. The stranger may challenge your beliefs, confront your assumptions, or question the patterns you have long held. God says, do not fear these challenges, for they are instruments of liberation. Growth is rarely comfortable, it is rarely convenient. Yet in every challenge lies the opportunity to release what no longer serves you, to embrace what has always been within you, and to align more fully with the path you were created to walk. The stranger is both guide and mirror, reflecting truths that may feel uncomfortable but are essential to your awakening. God says, embrace the encounter fully, without reservation. Do not cling to the familiar out of fear. Do not shrink from the unknown out of doubt. Allow the stranger to be a vessel of divine wisdom, a messenger of possibility, and a reminder that life's most profound lessons often arrive unannounced, in forms you may least expect. Their influence will ripple through your life, touching your relationships, your decisions, and your understanding of self in ways that will leave an indelible mark on your soul. The stranger's presence is a sacred invitation. God says, you are being called to open your heart, to expand your awareness, and to receive the gifts that have been waiting for you. These gifts may come as insight, clarity, courage, or healing. They may arrive as inspiration, renewed faith, or a shift in perspective that illuminates your path. Each interaction is a step toward wholeness, a step toward living fully in alignment with the divine plan for your life. The stranger is a reminder that even the most ordinary moments hold extraordinary potential when seen through the eyes of grace and faith. God says, the stranger will awaken your heart to the beauty of unexpected encounters. In a world that often values familiarity and predictability, the unfamiliar carries a unique power to expand your consciousness. The stranger may arrive with no fanfare, no announcement, and yet their presence will ripple through your life in ways that cannot be measured by time or circumstance. Every glance, every word, every moment of connection carries a weight that your spirit will recognize long before your mind does. The divine uses these moments to teach you that life's most transformative experiences often come without warning, wrapped in simplicity, and cloaked in humility. You may feel resistance at first. God says, it is natural to fear what you do not understand. The stranger may challenge the structures you have built, the routines you have clung to, and the assumptions you have long held as truth. Yet within this challenge lies liberation. You are being invited to release the limitations you have imposed upon yourself, to expand your vision, and to step into the fullness of your potential. The stranger is a catalyst, a mirror, and a guide, helping you to navigate the path toward your highest self. Their impact may feel gradual, like the rising sun illuminating a landscape previously hidden in shadow, but its light is steady, persistent, and transformative. God says, listen closely to the whispers of your heart. The stranger's lessons may not always be spoken aloud, they may arrive as subtle nudges, fleeting impressions, or sudden insights. Pay attention to these moments, for they are divine breadcrumbs, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and your journey. You may notice shifts in your thoughts, changes in your emotions, or a heightened awareness of what truly matters. Each sign, each sensation, is a call to awaken, to recognize that every encounter carries meaning, every person serves a purpose, and every moment is infused with divine intention. Through this encounter, you will learn the power of vulnerability. God says, to receive fully, you must open your heart without reservation. The stranger may prompt you to confront fears, insecurities, or doubts that you have long hidden. Yet in this vulnerability lies strength, clarity, and liberation. By allowing yourself to be seen and to see clearly, you embrace the transformative energy that this encounter offers. The stranger becomes a reflection of your own potential, a mirror that reveals both what you have carried and what you are capable of becoming. You will discover that the stranger's presence is a reminder of interconnectedness. God says, no life is lived in isolation. Every soul you meet carries a thread of wisdom, a fragment of truth, or a spark of divine inspiration meant to guide you. The stranger is a living testament to this truth. In recognizing their influence, you will come to understand that your life is not a solitary journey but part of a vast, interconnected tapestry of purpose. Each interaction, each shared moment, contributes to the unfolding of your destiny in ways that may be subtle, yet infinitely meaningful. Expect that this encounter will stir courage within you. God says, the stranger will challenge you to step beyond fear, doubt, and hesitation. They will illuminate paths you may have avoided, dreams you may have set aside, and gifts you may have overlooked. The courage awakened by this encounter will not be fleeting, it will take root, grow, and guide you in decisions, actions, and choices that align with your true purpose. You will learn that bravery is not the absence of fear but the willingness to act despite it, to embrace life fully, and to trust in the unfolding of divine providence. God says, the stranger's arrival is a sign of timing. Everything in your life has been orchestrated to prepare you for this moment. You may wonder why it has taken so long, why the encounter has not come sooner, or why it must happen in this way. Trust that the timing is perfect, for divine orchestration transcends human understanding. What may seem coincidental is deliberate. What may feel surprising is necessary. The stranger's presence is a pivotal point, a fulcrum upon which your life begins to shift, revealing doors, opportunities, and revelations that were previously hidden from view. The lessons you receive will ripple outward, touching all areas of your life. God says, you may notice changes in your relationships, your work, your creativity, and your sense of purpose. The stranger acts as a catalyst, initiating a chain reaction of insight, growth, and alignment. These effects may be gradual, almost imperceptible at first, but they are profound. They are the gentle unfolding of a plan that has long been in motion, a plan designed to awaken you fully to your potential and your divine calling. God says, embrace this moment. Embrace the stranger. Embrace the unknown. The encounter is not merely about the person before you, it is about your own awakening, your own readiness to step into the life that has been waiting for you. You are being invited to trust, to see clearly, to receive fully, and to act with courage. The stranger is a vessel of divine guidance, and their presence marks the beginning of a chapter in your life that will be remembered as a turning point, a season of growth, and a gateway to the fulfillment of your purpose.